to go out for the fan base to come in. But hey, it's Patrick Allmond from StopDoingNothing.com coming to you again weekly. I think I missed a week or two, so weekly is kind of pushing it. It's been a busy couple of weeks, and I apologize if you were used to the videos and I got behind on them. But I usually try to do one at least every Thursday, if not more often, Thursday at 2 o'clock Central. So today is Thursday, April 13th, 2 o'clock Central. And this week we're going to talk about the obsession video. I actually had a fan in the northwest part of the U.S. want me to revisit the concept of obsession and basically how to tune in things a little bit. If you're the kind of person that's easily distracted and there are multiple things that you want out of life, or multiple careers, or multiple disciplines, or multiple sports, or multiple degrees. I mean, just the times when you have 2 choices of things, or 3 choices, or 5 choices, and you really don't know which one to pick, and you don't want to give them up. And I've been there, and it's a challenge. So we're going to talk about that today for a little bit. In this particular case, this person has multiple businesses and some side hobbies, and they're just not really quite sure how to focus on one of them. And I'm hopefully going to give you, not hopefully I am, I'm going to give you some tips today as to how to lock that down and some mindset changes. So if you haven't done so yet, grab some notes, grab some paper. I've got some, if I could, I'd give you some paper here. I've got papers, I've got markers, I've got all kinds of stuff to write on. But I want you to take some notes on this because it's going to help you as you try to sort out what you want your priorities to life to be, and help you to get really good at one thing and not so good at other things. A couple of mindset things that I think about, or I talk to about people when it comes to indecision. And that is, you cannot be great at multiple things. You cannot be great at multiple things. You can be great maybe in 1 or 2 things. So, and people might think that's multiple things, but for the most part, as human beings, we can get really good at a very small number of things. And probably, I would dare say, even just one thing. Some people are maybe 1 or 2 things, but for the most part, you can get really great at a single thing. It's rare that you see, for example, in sports, that someone is just like a great basketball player and a great football player and a great basketball player and a great hockey player. I mean, you just don't see that. You see people who are mediocre and both. And don't mistake popularity for being great. I'm talking great at the skill and the finesse and the nuances of a game. You see people that are just amazing at one thing. Here in Oklahoma City, we have the Thunder. And if you're a basketball fan at all, you know who Kevin Durant is and Russell Westbrook is. And Kevin Durant moved on, and Russell Westbrook came in, and that guy is shining, and that guy is killer. There is nothing that guy cannot do in basketball. If you don't believe me, go look at this triple-double record he just broke. And the buzzer beater he shot during the game where he broke the triple-double record. I mean, goodness gracious, the guy is insanely good. If that man grabbed a baseball bat, he would be so-so at baseball, possibly even pretty poor at it. Same thing goes with hockey, same thing goes with basketball. But that man has got basketball on lock. He has got it tuned in. The same is true for your career or your sport or whatever you want to work on. Is if you think about that, if you think about those two multiple choices that you have, you're probably not really serving one of them very well. You're serving 2 of them kind of so-so. You've got a limited amount of time, so you kind of split up your time. So you really can't give option A that you can give all option B. You really can't do the same thing when it comes to money or resources. You kind of have to split them up because you really can't give up one. So remember that. I want you to remember that as you're moving forward, which might help you make the changes. You can't be really great at multiple things. It's really hard. You would have to be an amazing person, and amazing people are rare. And I wouldn't even claim to remotely be amazing. So that's one mindset thing I want you to think about there. I also want you to think about the pleasure and the joy that would come from being known as the top person in a thing. I've seen some experience with this, that when you can lock down something, you get really good at it, and you get so good at it that it's habitual, that it's instinctual, that you come up with some original ideas on how to do it, whether it be martial arts or football or basketball. When you really lock down on something and remove all of the other options, you're going to find out that you actually kind of become somewhat of a thought leader and a groundbreaker on that thing. And people come to you to learn more. And you can call it ego or whatever you want it, but I really get a kick out of sharing what I know with someone. So if I learn something very well, I like to share it with people. And as a result, people come to me and call me a thought leader on that topic and say, hey, Patrick, you really know your stuff. Well, that only comes from me locking down and really focusing on that topic. If I can't focus on that topic, then I'm not going to be that great at it. And there are plenty of things I know I'm not great at. If you ever have an in-person conversation with me, I'm going to tell you straight up, you know what? I suck at most things, but I'm very good at a very small number of things. If you want to know about those small number of things, you give me a call, you look me up, and we'll talk about it, and I will gladly share that with you. So those are the two things I want you to remember right there. Is number one, you cannot be great at multiple things. It's just not possible. And two, think about the joy and the pleasure that's going to become from is known as someone who that person is good at something. If you're the kind of person like a Russell Westbrook who's really great at basketball, the feeling and the joy that's going to come from people knowing, oh my goodness, he has it on lock. That's the kind of person you want to be known as, and I want that for you. I want you to be known as a thought leader in whatever field that you choose. Quick reminder as we wrap up the video here, if you're on the podcast, you can't see it, but if you're on the video, you can see it. I'm wearing one of our Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts here. You can get those over at StopDoingNothing.com. You can go there and order them. We've got them primarily in red and black. Primarily the bigger sizes right now, but we're getting ready to roll out women's orders. So if you get your order in, I will get you in the queue to get one. But I wear one every single day of the week. And there are times where I have to dress up nice, where I can't wear one. But for the most part, if I'm wearing a t-shirt to bed, waking up, or out to the gym or to an athletic event, you're going to find me wearing a Stop Doing Nothing t-shirt. I'm becoming obsessed with that particular concept, and I like wearing the brand. I like people asking me about it, but I also like sharing the message and kicking people in the ass a little bit and saying, hey, this is the life I live. This is the life that you might want to consider living if you're the kind of person who sits on the sidelines and just wonders what can be. I know a lot of that comes from fear, and that's not what the topic is about this week. Hey, Wendy, I see your message over here. Thank you very much for tuning in. You are a special cookie, let me tell you. But if you're that kind of person who has fear and you're not quite sure, you have some of this decision I was talking about earlier, getting one of these t-shirts is one of those small little reminders every single day when you get out of bed or when you wear it around that, hey, I am capable of more. I am in a certain place in my life, whether I am 20 or 80 or 50 or whatever. I'm in a certain place, but I can be more. I can be a bigger entity. I can be better at whatever it is. I always find it amazing. One of the most inspiring things to me is when I go to the gym or whatever, and I see people that I know are probably close to, twice my age sometimes, out there lifting weights and on the treadmill just like everything else. That's the most inspiring thing to me because they haven't given up. And it really bothers me sometimes. I hear people like in their late 20s giving up on things. They're like, oh, I'm too old now. I can't do this. Are you kidding me? I'm almost twice your age, and I'm still not done. So if you want to have a constant reminder of that feeling, go over to StopDoingNothing.com. Get these shirts right here. They're made locally by a really good friend of mine who makes quality work. We've got a saying on the back and a big giant Stop Doing Nothing letters and then some embroidery up front. And I would love to share these with you. And they're reasonably priced right there. As always, shoot me your questions and I will address your questions in a later video or on the podcast. And really quick right there, I'm going to say, make sure you tune in over on YouTube. Because I put Stop Doing Nothing videos there. And if you go over to iTunes and Google Play and Blog Talk Radio and, oh goodness gracious, a couple other places online, you can hear the shows like this as a podcast online. And I listen to podcasts on my phone wherever I am, so you can take a little bit of this in your car. But once again, move off the sidelines, move past that fear, get yourself a Stop Doing Nothing t-shirt, and remember, you can't be great at multiple things. You can be really great at a small number of things. So kick ass at a small number of things and find people who are kick ass at those other things and push it off on them. Thank you very much for watching. I would love your comments below. And if this video was useful for you, can you help a brother out? Share it, like it, and comment it on it also. We will see you next week, if not tomorrow. I might do another live stream tomorrow. Who knows? But like the fan page, and thank you for watching very much. You take care. I love every single one of you.